Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kian Saneii, Chief Executive Officer, Independa.
Great job. Well, it's great to be with you today. As the conference progresses, it's always interesting when we get to a point where we don't talk about connected health or mHealth or wireless health. That's when we really made great progress. So I think we're all part of that. If you can roll the first video, it'll give everyone a good idea of Independa.
Somehow, despite the last 30 years of advancements, the main technology brand for the elderly is still, I've fallen and I can't get up. How could this be? This was the question that led to the founding of Independa. The situation at the time, which largely remains today, was disconnected point solutions addressing different aspects of care for the elderly, including social, health, activity, environmental, and, of course, safety concerns. These separate solutions create challenges for the care recipient and their family, as well as organizations in elder care. While many companies address a part of the overall solution, no one has been providing services in a holistic, integrated manner. Until now, that's where Independa excels. First, we integrate all these point solutions into one cloud-based system that is centrally managed, administered, and monitored with rules, thresholds, and reporting. Second, the technology is so advanced that it runs in the background. The elderly care recipient doesn't have to learn anything new, whether delivered through a TV or a tablet. The care recipient doesn't even have to plug in a computer. Either device offers video chats, a variety of reminders, photos of grandchildren, access to email, Facebook, and much, much more. And if using the TV, it all happens right on top of whatever is being watched already. This is the power of opening up the world to the elderly right in their residence. This is Independa, redefining independence and your business. Connect with us today at www.independa.com.
So before I set up the second quick video, this is actually anecdotal. There is a woman, the name is different. It always chokes me up when I share this with anyone because this is how a lot of people are living. So if you can roll the second tape. In fact, though, it's a matter of weeks, not just hours, where the daughter shows up.
Mary is a 73-year-old woman who lives in a single room at the end of a long hallway in a care facility. Mary stays in her room with the door shut and the television on full blast most of the day. One day, a care manager walked into Mary's room and commented that she sure must love watching TV to have it on all the time, and so loud. Mary shook her head. No, I don't watch TV. I watch the door. When a shadow passes under that door, I know my daughter is here. Did you know the #1 issue for the independent elderly isn't falls or medication compliance? It's social isolation. The resulting depression and loneliness often leads to a slippery slope of additional care, costs, and complications. You're about to see the revolutionary new way to overcome this major challenge. A solution that is cost-effective, doesn't require any more staff, a lot of money, or even a cute cat. It doesn't even require the care recipient to learn a new technology. Independa has joined forces with LG Electronics to bring you the world's first and only TV with embedded elder care services. With Independa, Mary can now video chat with her family and friends, view pictures they send her, and receive her med reminders, all while watching her favorite shows. Independa has transformed a commodity household appliance into an amazing portal for social engagement and enhanced independence. Suddenly, all other solutions pale in comparison. For elderly care recipients worldwide, this isn't just game-changing, it's life-changing. And for Mary, she now watches her TV instead of the door and enjoys her daughter's video chats throughout the day. Connect with us today at www.independa.com.
So when we talk about connectivity, Rob started the session yesterday morning by talking about we are living longer and we're all getting sicker. And when we talk about the costs in our healthcare system, there's huge alignment in having the elderly stay wherever they are longer, safer, and more comfortably. And that means whether they're in their home or a senior living facility, even in transitions into nursing homes and so forth, what's the platform that allows us to do that? We have 50 million caregivers in the US, which means somebody taking care of someone who's 50 years or older looking to stay independent. I always am surprised, but maybe not so much anymore over time. How many people here have someone who's providing care to an elderly person, either directly or very close to them? Wow. Less so than normal. Usually I have about 70 or 80% of the hands go up. 600 million people worldwide. So we heard about China. 400 million people in China were moved in the past decade to cities with a single child policy, rural areas. One of the parents passes, there is no home care, there is no home health, et cetera. Costs we all know, so I'm not going to belabor that. Just mentioning this, we have 20,000 home care companies just in the US. 20,000 home care companies taking care of people, private pay. And this is far outweighing any kind of CMS code or insurance code by probably a ratio of 3 to 1. That's where we see all the reverse mortgages. And everyone wants to stay independent. And what's really more important is really interdependent. You don't want to be isolated and independent. You want to be interdependent. And there hasn't been a platform to provide that effectively. So this is what we're all familiar with. We're going from episodes to continuity of care, reaction to prediction, sickness to wellness, volume to value. But really, we hear a lot of patient-centric. We're also going from patient to person. And how many people here would love to be a patient? Usually no hands go up. So when we're not at the doctors or at the hospitals or getting treated is when we really can be well and healthy. And the platform that provides visibility to enable that from a health and environmental activity and all that combined perspective is the winning platform. And also we're going from, as we know, institutions to the residents. And there's no integrated solutions to provide that. The challenge today is we have a lot of expensive individual fixes, and particularly for the elderly, that doesn't work. And we need holistic, non-episodic management of them. Lots of point solutions abound, but for the elderly, they actually compound the problem. The example is we've integrated with Jonathan's TeleCare product, fantastic product. If my son has diabetes, I know I'm going to use that product and I'm going to be very comfortable managing him from a distance. If my grandmother has diabetes and she also has to step on a scale, get her blood pressure, and also is lonely and isolated and starting to get depressed, that's only one of the many things I have to do. So we need to have a better integrated solution. And also the hardware is constantly improving, and you really need a platform on the software side to integrate everything. And that's what we do. So what we have is technology-enabled independent living. We've integrated all aspects of independence. Basically, the data that comes in, we feel it's really important to have a holistic view, particularly for the elderly. And that means health, that means activity, that means environmental integration, and even personal emergency response systems. As I was waiting, actually, I remember last year we introduced and announced with the CEO of Great Call our integration with their 5-star pendant. So it's even on the safety side. And for the elderly, that's critical. But really, when you think about it, any kind of supported independence or supported health from a distance is needing of a holistic approach. And very important to us is to provide an enterprise solution to our customers who are home care, home health, senior living facilities, as well as even insurance companies, anyone who is managing populations, managing the elderly, looking to provide health and longevity from a distance, including even there's interest from a mental health perspective, although we're very much focused on the elderly as we go. And then on the consumer side, again, you don't notice me talking about a patient because we don't have patients, we have care recipients. And the care recipient has to have something that's intuitive, fun, and engaging. And that's why the TV is so important, because if you spend so much time being alone, which is why you need support from a distance anyway, you're usually spending it in front of a TV. Although we have a great relationship with Samsung also on the tablet. So we need an integrated platform, and that's what Independa does. This is a quick view to share all the different areas that clinically go into providing independence. And this is more of a technology view of how you have to integrate across a wide spectrum of functions. Each one of those, in fact, is its own industry. So you have telemedicine, last week, 2 weeks ago was ATA, so lots of great companies there showing off their wares in the telemedicine spectrum. You have ADT Pulse, for instance, on the environmental side. You have emotional areas like life stories that you can be recording, so engaging people from that perspective. And you add it all up, cognitive, lots of tools around that. Social, we saw. So there's companies that provide social tools just for the elderly. That's a platform view. Our view is that we integrate with best of breed on the home sensor, which are really activity environmental sensors, things like open door, shut door, the concept of a smart home, home automation, panic, pressure pad. So it's just as important if you know mom's maybe out of bed 6 hours late on a Sunday, she's never done that, then maybe her blood pressure goes up. When I say mom, it's really not just a consumer approach, it's the home care company as well as insurance company and so forth. It's just as important to know maybe she's getting up 6 times a night, going to the bathroom, as it is her weight might be going up or down. So the fully integrated view, and then Angela is the care recipient facing platform that's embedded inside the TV. It's not an app on an app deck. It's not another input that you go to. Whatever you're watching, whether it's a PowerPoint presentation or a cable show or Apple TV or whatnot, satellite, it's inside the TV. It's taken over 3 years in great close collaboration with LG to produce this, and it's something that we're both very excited about and lots of plans worldwide. When we talk about demographics, all of us are aging, so we, to some extent, are building the system for ourselves and all of us here. But when you think about Florida, if you visit Florida, you have pharmacies that are selling 30 scooters, which is something we're not used to seeing. When you think about travel, and now you see more and more people with wheelchairs going in first, coming out. Imagine in 10 years, maybe 30 people on wheelchairs having to board a plane. So everything that we do is based on the baby boomers aging. And in fact, some place like China as well, but particularly Japan, makes Florida look like a middle school to us. So there's lots of opportunities worldwide. And let's see. So these are the individual areas that we would integrate with. Just a quick point on the right side. That's where you need FDA approval. That's where you integrate with a system that then provides information to doctors, in fact, patient-based and FDA-based and so forth. So that's an area we're opportunistically engaging with partners, but that's not our core product. And this is Angela, just a quick view of it. Designed actually here by DD Studios, who you saw locally participate. We also kicked off the company on the shoulders of IDEO, the design firm, which came up with the concept of what's needed in the market and how to go about doing it. Literally, the wireframes of the product were set up by IDEO about 4 years ago. And we have a shop set up next door. If you'd like to meet, happy to show you a live demo on the TV as well as a tablet. And to close, senior living communities, home cares, disruptive technology and benefits there. But also, once you get into more of an FDA approach, home health, payers, providers, ACOs, discharge. So this is where, when you think about it, others, I mentioned mental health, population management is another big one. And one of the things we seem to have done is solve the last mile problem into the home when it comes to integrated health and wellness, and not device-centric, but as a platform that we can integrate in various areas. So it's great to be with you again this year, and that's my presentation. Any time for questions? Or time for lunch? I think someone's following me. Is Rob coming?